Still just wants a minus Radiance.
Tidehunter ban into a Wraith King.
Okay,
for EHOME.
so a more classic pairing with the Grimstroke, like the Sven, but has a bit more push.
Whoa!
Okay.
Okay.
Now,
we talked at 33, and he said this hero is still
Right, so actually on the Dream League Major, there was one pick, I believe it was Witchy Gaming, that played the full bug strat. They went like Brood, Nyx, Weaver, they went with all the bugs and they demolished the enemy team. Basically, this Brood Mother is a fast-paced hero, like a tempo controller that you just, yeah, those tips for the 3-3 tips for his Brood, because you have to tip him. He's playing a Brood Mother last pick. That's just nasty.
Already getting those webs placed. Let's see, 430.
This could prove to be a little bit problematic for the Brood Mother, though. I believe she should dominate this lane still. I think she wins hands down easily versus the Razor. But I've seen some matchups, like Furion versus Razor, Brood versus Razor, in which if Razor maxes his unstable current, like it's been changed, it zaps the spiders, it zaps the treants. However, I think still that Brood Mother is just completely favored on this mid lane, and if she's left unchecked, she's just gonna demolish them. She's gonna take over their jungle, start taking towers, and it's gonna be a one-sided story, just like that Meepo game yesterday.
So the way that you usually try to shut down a Brood Mother, right, is you try to put people in your lane. You're trying to, just slow her down a little bit, because if she doesn't get going right away, it tends to be, as you said, problematic.
Yeah.
But in this case, if you're putting that much pressure on this Brood Mother, the other lanes, they're going to do so well.
The thing is, you can't pressure her. You can rotate perhaps around that mid lane, but that's not gonna work. She's still gonna just pop a couple of webs in the woods and farm the jungle. She won't really care, and that's your biggest problem. Like, you can't shut this hero down on the lane. There are some counters, like perhaps Kunkka and maybe Tiny. They work really well, but obviously EHOME, it's too late. They only have this Razor on the mid lane. And Rasta also scouting for the courier. I don't think they should fall for that.
If they get the courier, that's going to be a just incredible start off for Brood Mother, who's already, going to dominate this lane.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, on the side of EHOME, what you have to be thinking about, you have to get an early Crimson on the Doom. You have Grimstroke versus the Brood as well. Those Broodlings just amplify his first spell. So overall, Stroke of Fate is really good versus Brood later on to defend.
All right, we're going to see some trading back around here in the mid lane. And I mean, one of the nice things about, this Brood Mother, unlike the Quab, right? Quab can usually blink herself away from that static link. So, 430 will be able to get a little bit of damage off of her, but...
Yeah.
Not
in
enough.
The beginning,
Not enough to
because
really
you can run over the cliffs and you can also just go to the jungle. So he can he can dominate maybe a first few waves, and he has to, because later on it's just Brood's game.
Oh, Fata in the top lane, he takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's living life on the edge as he started off with the Shadow Strike. At the same time, Saxa is just pulling, right, creep skipping, and you can't really be fighting or pressuring that Wraith King after that happens. Also, Grimstroke, he started with the Stroke of Fate, not with Inkswell, so he's dishing out a lot of damage right now too.
I already see him winding up, just trying to put as much pressure on Fata as possible. Saxa, though, he does hit considerably hard, is going to push back Y.
If you're Grimstroke, you cannot fight versus Rasta. It's just not an option, and you have to go back after that. You wasted a lot of your mana, so perhaps using these mangoes, pulling, and just waiting for your levels is the right option. This is a really strong combination of heroes. Grimstroke plus Wraith King. This is an old-school combo. You have the Inkswell stun into the Inkswell, that is, and that can be very dangerous for the Rasta or Queen of Pain.
Would you have rather... Now, I know that he went for the Stroke of Fate for level 1. Would you have rather seen maybe the Inkswell getting picked up with Ray Fire Blast to just really put that pressure down? Or?
He could have went for the Inkswell, but I believe then you were kind of thinking maybe Pop goes for Blink, and that's why he didn't. Inkswell also got nerfed, and it costs a little bit more mana. So overall, you can spam out Stroke of Fate a little bit better. So that's the reasoning behind that spell on level 1. I think on level 3, you're going to have the Silence, the Stroke of Fate, and the Inkswell, and that's your chance to actually win that lane on the top.
Okay, definitely going to keep an eye on that mid lane. You're seeing that damage getting sapped away from 33 again. Doesn't care too much when he's got those very things up.
Yeah, you can see that he went 2 levels into unstable current, so he has thought about this and he understands this matchup very well. This is his only chance to win it, and so far he's doing all right. He has 15 CS. Some of that CS is though from the Spiderlings and Spiderlights, and they give nothing. That's like 3 to 9 gold. Later on, we'll most likely see this Razor like 20-30 CS ahead, but the net worth is going to be very similar to the Broods. we're going to have to wait and see what this Brood builds for. Is it going to be some Dominator build? Is it going to be Medallion into Diffusal? There are many pathways, and all of them look pretty legit in this game. They look good. Like, Diffusal is good versus the Braid King. The Dominator is good to pressure. Overall, solid Brood game.
What would you prefer to see? Because I know, like, right now we've been talking a lot about that Helm of the Dominator getting picked up on heroes such as Darkseer, getting picked up on Enigma. Is that the best choice right now to really put that pressure down since they don't have the greatest option in dealing with her? Or would you rather see her itemize, you know, for a little bit later?
You don't necessarily have to itemize for late as Brood. You kind of scale progressively. You have multiple peaks in the game, so I believe she can go for the Dominator or the Diffusal early on and just apply pressure across the map. I think that's what you have to do as Brood, because if you aren't applying pressure, you're doing something wrong. And right now, she's just jungling, but later on, like in a few minutes, we're going to see her slowly attempting to take down this tier 1 on the mid lane.
I don't think there's really much that they can do on the side of EHOME to just push off of those spiders, especially when she creates such a big army. Yep. Many of the supports that show up will just get nibbled down for sure.
The lane that we haven't really talked much about is not this top lane, but the bottom lane with Zhao 8, with his Doom, the director playing on that Doom. And he knows what he needs to do in this situation. I believe he does at least, because that Crimson Guard is a game-winning item for them. If they get it online before Brood gets online, they could perhaps pressure her instead of being pressured. Those Broodlings and the Brood herself, they pretty much tickle you if you have the Crimson Guard on. On top lane, Saksa getting really low, Inkswell.
Yeah, Saksa, he's trying to run himself out. They should have the final hit. Never ends. Gonna get first blood.
There we go. It's our first blood of the Grand Finals.
First blood of the Grand Finals. Things are feeling good for EHOME so far, and they might feel a little bit better. Peter taking a lot of damage here.
He's a Bane, though. Very tanky, beefy boy. Something that PPD likes to play. It's very hard to die on the Bane, even if you are out of position somewhere deep, boarding or whatever.
That's true. Runes are up, though, at the 5-minute mark, and we will see that Ninjas in Pajamas are able to secure themselves two.
And the third one on the top lane, too. So
the third one. All right.
All right, so a small win there. For some ex-pro players, that would be a win already. They just won the game. We can see Braid King also going for that Radiance. That item is going to be really good versus the Brood too. So if you can manage to get the Radiance on Braid King in a decent timing, and then like Crimson Guard, something similar on Zhao 8, you can definitely mitigate the damage coming from the Broodlings and the Brood herself. However, the hero that we haven't talked at all is Morphling and Ace. And Morphling has been like one of the top contested heroes of the meta right now. In this tournament, it has been Drow and Sven, right?
Right.
But Morphling, this hero can just take control of the game.
We've seen Madara pick it up over on Alliance, I believe.
Yeah. I
we've seen
mean,
him
he
play
has
it,
been picked. He has been picked a lot, but pretty much in the last few days. Actually, let's see what's happening on mid.
Oh, mid lane they'll go. They'll start off with the shackles, all of those spider babies, and Fata actually makes his own rotation as they might actually go for this dive here over on Y, but they've got their attention now over here on Zinq. He's trying to run himself out. He had that arcane root. He thought it was the perfect time, but it's the perfect time for 33 to get himself a double kill.
It's the perfect time for him. He has finished that medallion instantly as he finishes it. As the courier delivers it, Saksa is in the right position to shackle the Razor, and they punish him. And now...
Oh, and they find someone else over here. Look at all those spiders just creepy crawling over, and it's a triple kill
for Broodmother. This
oh,
is...
and they're still going. They're still going. Listen, they're going to go chasing after 430. He just TP'd right back in again. They're trying to burn down all these spiderlings. They've got the webs. They've got the nuke. Are they going to be able to find a Fata jumping forward? If R30, he doesn't want to die again. He can't afford to have that walk of shame again. He's going to get taken down. The TPs are coming out immediately now from EHOME. They're trying to punish them, and it's just little old Saksa who's left over here. I think everyone else should be able to get away. Saksa, is he going to get out? No. It was a nice try, but never end after making that rotation.
But at the same time, he just forced Rubik, Wraith King, and Doom to run behind their own tier 2 in between the tier 3 and tier 2. Like, he created space. Saksa is the space master right now. He's happy with that. And meanwhile, 3-3 getting a triple kill. Ooh,
that is the worst thing that I think could happen for EHOME right now, because already this Brood looks really good.
1,000 gold after completing that medallion. I believe in that courier he has a few raid bands, actually. 2 raid bands on it, so he's going to hit even harder, going to be beefier with the medallion. This Razor on the mid lane, I don't think... Like, okay, you can be mid as long as the spider is in the woods. Once the spider comes and gets you, you need to run. Like, there's no way for you to stay on that mid lane.
Not such an itsy-bitsy spider over there. Looks like 430 just going to retreat off to the jungle, get himself away, knows that 33 will be making his way right back to that lane again and putting pressure on that tower. And that's a very important tower, Lizard. Although bottom lane, still more aggression coming out against Ace. Bane's still nearby. He's going to turn himself into his own version of Doom. He's going to just try to push these guys off of his tower.
Yeah, they're trying to pressure Ace's Morphling because they can't pressure the Broodmother, but that gives all the space to Fata to just re-farm on the top lane. He's having a good time now too.
And he made a really intelligent decision to make that rotation to the mid lane. You know, we saw that the Shadow Shaman had made his way over, but also Fata making that rotation got him a little bit more experience. And actually, I think it got him a kill too, right?
Yeah. He rotated there, provided a lot of pressure, helped the Brood out. They managed to win that crucial first team fight around the Broodmother, and that is so important for them. As now the Broodmother is completely uncontested. That mid lane has been abandoned by 430. Ferrari just in the jungle farming the creeps as he realizes that mid lane is not his any longer.
I don't think mid lane was ever his, to be quite honest,
lane?
with this setup. Bottom lane, Ace taking a lot of damage here. Can he get himself out in time? We'll use that waveform. Looks like he's all right, but they're still chasing after him. They don't have the Wraithfire Blast. We'll be able to push him back. It's going to be the chase, though, coming out from Zhao 8. He wants this kill. They want to take down this Morphling. Wraithfire Blast finally going to be up and running. They'll be able to collect a kill.
That's a really good kill that they got, but on top lane, I
Top
believe,
lane, the shackles come out. It is just your support. It is why, but you don't want this Queen of Pain snowballing. And in the middle lane again, 430, he shows his face. He can't afford to keep doing this because this Broodmother is just going to chase him down and feed her babies.
What are you doing? You can't show up mid. Just go to the jungle. Jungle is yours. Like, he tried showing up when Brood was there and he instantly got punished. Rubik, yeah, he did try to port in, but there is very little that he can do. Fate Bolt works really well versus the Spiderlings, but the Brood was the problem in that scenario as she was running after Razor too.
Rubik's lucky he didn't turn into a snack as well.
That's true.
It's just all this momentum right now going over for the side of this Broodmother.
2k gold after 2 raid bans and medallion, working towards that diffusal, so that's going to be the build. The medallion and the diffusal. This is basically early pressure item build that also allows you to scale fairly well, but most importantly, it's okay, PPD just falls. Most importantly, you get that mana drain versus Wraith King as well, and some catch potential because you can slow them down with diffusal.
Surprised that 430 keeps showing up back in this lane. They did manage to take the top tower, though.
I think it's better if just Grimstroke is there and he does this, you see?
Yeah.
Like, he just cleans up those spiders. Even with the level 1 Stroke of Fate, he deals a significant amount of damage to them, even one-shots them early on. I'm actually surprised he didn't go for more levels of Stroke of Fate. But at the same time, I realize why he went for Phantom's Embrace. It's so good in this game versus the Morphling versus the Queen of Pain.
Look at them just dodge that Stroke of Fate every single time, too, in that mid lane. Very nicely done. Spider Baby's just putting a lot of pressure over here on this tower. Should be able to take down the tier 1. So that's 2 tier 1s taken down now in under 11 minutes.
Yeah, the game is gonna slow down a little bit for now, as we can see Wraith King farming his Radiance. He has 2,000 gold. He's gonna go top to defend the tier 2. And Broodmother is just satisfied with the way this game has been played so far, and he's just gonna finish his diffusal in the jungle as well. Where's Dome? Like Zhao 8, you need these items. You need the big items, big utility items versus the Broodmother, but he's not buying them. He's going for the Blink, he's going for drums. At the same time, you need that too. You need to be able to catch that Morphling somehow. Same goes for Queen of Pain. You need to be able to catch her as well. So there are many questions left unanswered for EHOME at the moment.
It's also very difficult when you look at the draft coming out from EHOME. They don't have the greatest initiation. It feels like a lot of that is going to be falling upon Zhao 8's shoulders. So he kind of needs to have these mobility items to get them in the middle of that fight. Because like you said, they're just too elusive. They're able to get away very, very easily.
Yeah, Rubik might run into some problems here right now. No, he's going to go back mid with the haste.
They have a ward there. Although he's going right up, we'll be able to go get a steal.
Yeah, just snatches that brain sap. Yeah. This Rubik with the Blink might prove to be very important for EHOME as well, as he's going to allow them to perhaps catch that Queen of Pain or the Morphling, instantly lift them up in the air, and then the Doom can follow up. But he only has boots right now, and he's not getting any closer towards his Blink because they lost their lanes, and now the cores have to recover. And it's always the position 4 that suffers in this kind of a scenario because you have no lane to farm, you have no lane to outpush, you know.
It's hard too. There's just not enough farm on the map anymore with all those changes. So it feels like,
Broodmother mid,
middle
on the
lane,
Razor again.
430. He's going to get taken down with a mighty nuke. They have the Phantom's Embrace over here on the Broodmother, but they just don't have the catch. They don't have a way to pin her down right now.
That's the defusal reveal as well. The moment 3-3 gets a new item, he instantly converts it into a good kill. And so far, 3-3 has been on the receiving end every single time.
This efficiency coming out from Ninjas feels really, really good right now. They're doing everything right, it feels. You have so much space here for Ace. You're making a lot of pressure over in that mid lane. You're also invading the jungle, although there is Doom standing nearby, so it looks like they might be able to go get this kill over onto Peter. He's going to get stunned up, and they try to trade a little bit, but in comes Brood. The mama's angry, and she's going to go chasing after the side of EHOME right now. Although they drop the wards, and they're not going to be able to get anything with them. So it's a little bit of a good trade here, I think, for the side of EHOME. Don't have to worry about those Serpent wards.
Yeah, Serpent wards, perhaps if he planted them on the high ground would have been a bit better, but at the same time that wouldn't block Rubik from running away. Broodmother also rotated in, but realized, all right, they're all here. Yeah, I'm tanky. Yeah, I have the network advantage, but I can't just run into 5 of them. Also, when you look at the last, it's Razor has 30 more than Brood, but he's 3k behind, 3.4k behind when it comes to net worth. It's all the Spider Lights and Spiderlings. They truly do not matter way too much. 3 and 9 gold, that's not a lot.
He's also gotten taken down multiple times, I think 4 times in that middle lane.
Of course.
So that can hamper you a little bit.
Just a bit, just a bit.
Just a tiny bit, you know.
When you die 4 times and you're 0-4-0, it does help.
It's not the position that you want to be, especially on a Razor.
Wraith King did finish his Sacred Relic right now, so he's moving closer to his Radiance. That item might prove to be very important for them as well.
He's going to be patient, though, just hang out on the side. We do have a smoke, though, coming out from the side of EHOME.
Yeah, the smoke is coming from NIP as well, as BPD has smoked himself and the Queen of Pain, and they're going to run into each other.
All right, it's going to be Peter who's going to be tanking this gank. They follow up with the Centaur Stomp. They've got the Inkswell, the Silence, and they'll be able to get
Fata
a quick
has to be careful. Oh, lift.
Fata, he's just going to blink himself away.
Yeah, he had the high ground advantage there, and I believe maybe he had an opportunity to lift him, but Fata was in smoke and had a high ground advantage, so he definitely can blink out there if he reacts properly.
Look at the instant purchase of smokes coming out from both of those teams, too, immediately after. They're feeling very aggressive. They want to try to take advantage of, you know, the fact that they've got this control. They need to be making these moves, making space for their cores, obviously.
Even though 430, he has been pressured so hard. He died 4 times on that mid lane. He still managed to finish that Atos. It's not the perfect timing, but he has phases Atos. Like right now, he is a hero. He can help you out. He can perhaps Atos that Broodmother or the Queen of Pain or even the Morphling. And he's useful. From this moment on, he's useful. He's not just that hero that runs mid and dies, and then you have to port 3 heroes there to try and help him, and he still dies, and then you're like, all right, now we're mid, and everyone else is farming on their side. We just wasted all of our time.
But he is trying to like recover here in the jungle, and you can see that the Wraith King actually is the one that's trying to make that space, pushing the tower and trying to get the last bit of gold that he needs for this raid. Just look at all these spiders. There's so many of them. Why? Just gets devoured.
So Bind is
They're
there.
going to try to keep chasing after 33. They'll connect, though, over there. Get the double Doom off, followed by the Sonic Wave. Are they going to be able to find this kill? Saksa, he's going to be able to go. He turns around. Yeah, they'll drop those Serpent Wards. And Wraith King comes right back up again just to be taken back down.
Yeah, he dies when he's just short.
Can they get this? Can they find it? Oh, Zhao 8, he tried to TP out. He's not going to be able to. They'll be able to clean up. That's a double kill for Ace.
So they take down 3 of them. They also take down Wraith King twice, which is a really long cooldown, 200 seconds. That's only level 1 cooldown. This isn't really the place that the Wraith King wants to be, but he has to be there because his Razor had such a rough laning stage. And when that happens, you basically have to just think about it this way. If I go back and just farm and he farms, they're just going to take control across the map completely, and none of us are going to get anything. This way, at least, he's giving the opportunity for that Razor to recover. But it's in a really bad moment for him. I can't sugarcoat it because that relic was, that Radiance was 200 gold away. He died, yeah, and he also died with a level 1 ulti as he's level 11.
Yeah.
He was so close to 2 big things, and they punished him.
All right, well, we have the Atos picked up now on Fata, so I think we'll see them being even more aggressive. And they have to know that this Razor's kind of hanging out over in that little triangle area that we talk about frequently. I think the thing that's very worrisome to me, though, is also the fact that he's going for that BKB, but there's so much... Oh, and there's the BKB for the Broodmother.
Yep.
Oof.
The BKB for the Broodmother is done, and now we're gonna see these aggressive movements across the dire jungle. We're gonna see these movements on the tier 2s as well, as the top tier 2 is already pinged out. We see Radiance running, we see Wraith King running there. He's
With
not
the
all,
Radiance.
with the
Does have
He's
Radiance?
not only the Radiance.
Right now, he
hits a
kind of
bit.
feels like he's just
Right
only
now
the
he
Radiance.
is, yeah. Radiance is running around on that top lane.
All right, the assault is on. Spider's going to be doing some scouting. Immediately see why. They want to try to burst him down quickly, but already the Broodmother going to get
Is there a
a
BKB?
CC. They get that silence off. BKB coming out from 33. He's going to try to fight through to Zhao 8, just munching away at him. They'll get the Fiend's Grip, and they'll drop the wards on the other side as that Slink coming out from the Razor is trying to sap as much as he can. Oh, never, and he's trying to run himself back, and they're just really running
He
nonstop.
juked them.
They cannot find him, though. He's going to be able to TP himself away.
Yeah, that's a really good, nice juke there. They expected him to run across the trees and onto his high ground, but he just ported away instead. Yeah, very well played. Manages to survive.
That is the BKB down now for the Broodmother.
The BKB and the ultimate, but the ultimate is just 36
It's just 30
seconds.
seconds,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very... That level 15 on Broodmother is so important because you have 20% cooldown reduction, which works on BKB and your ultimate too. And suddenly this Broodmother can rejoin fights 2-3 times in a row. That's just very hard to deal with.
And the Wraith King still has that reincarnation on cooldown as well, so definitely has to be careful, though we'll be up in about 30 seconds.
In those 30 seconds now, the question is NIP going to try and do anything? Are they going to maybe try for Rosh? I don't think so. I think they needed a better pick-off on that top lane. Any pick-off on that top lane. And mid lane,
Smoke, Atos
Doom
is
is
going to
there.
get used. They'll use the Doom over onto Fata. He's going to try to run himself out. 33, he's got that BKB pop. He's going to chase after 430 over here. Peter turning around, throws out that Nightmare. Will slow them down. Razor, he's just getting chased down. Slowly but surely, they'll find the kill. And now 33 having to run himself away, but they get the shackles off over here on the Wraith King. He can't afford to go down right now. Wraith Fire Blast will get used as they have their own Doom, and they're going to use that Sonic Wave, and they're going to keep chasing down. Reincarnation was right back up again as 33 trying to run himself away from Zhao 8. So be a nice stroke of fate coming through, slows them down, but they'll be able to walk away and just reset.
okay, Wraith King died once, but that's the level 2 ulti. They lost the Razor. They get anything for that. They only got the PPD, I believe, kill. So they lost the Razor for PPD, which isn't really great, but they're not in the best position either, so these trades are, well, not the trades that you want to be making, as you did use the Doom as well on that mid lane. It also opens up the opportunity for NIP to just completely take control of this side of the map around the Rosh pit. Perhaps PPD can go deeper in the jungle and void it up, and then you can rotate into the Rosh pit with the wards, with the Broodmother. I believe that's the play now.
That appears to be what they're thinking as you see the positioning going around that pit right now. And they'll go, drop the Serpent Wards.
There we go, with the medallion as well. This Rosh should fall very fast.
Ninjas just feel like they're really in control of this game right now. The side of EHOME, you know, they had an idea, but it's just...
Look at these three broods, these three spiders in the dire jungle. That's just efficiency coming from 3-3, just using his spiders to scout all the time as well. He's not only playing this brood, like, these spiders can be played like hawks or moving observers, right? You can always rotate them across the map to give you vision. And he's the guy that always does it when he plays this Broodmother.
Again, it all comes down to having very good vision.
Just information, right? Information. Right. You can't go for that Roshan unless you know where they are. And if these spiders are moving across the map and you see 1 or 2 heroes on the lane, you're pretty much certain that they can't contest you.
Bottom lane, Fato will get jumped on as they go throw him up, but he's already blinked himself away. They're not going to be able to find him.
That Atos almost connected on him, and if it did, he was one dead Queen of Pain there.
See Doom just leading the charge down to the bottom lane, but...
That Doom is actually building BKB into Blink, into Shivas, it seems. No Crimson Guard or anything like that. Every single Doom that I've seen that has won versus Broodmother recently went for an earlier Crimson Guard because it mitigated all the damage from the Broodlings and the Brood. But I guess it's too late now already, so just going for that Shivas is also good. It kind of serves the same purpose, right? It mitigates the damage, it also gives you some damage versus the Spiderlings, and it can scout the Brood in the woods, in the trees.
It's interesting how one particular hero can change everything, right? Especially the plans, your itemization. Top lane, though, they will try to put some pressure over here on Ace. They'll be able to go pop that Aegis.
That Blink Dagger reveal by the Wraith King paying off right there as they take the Aegis away from the Morphling. Oh, really good play by them. That DD definitely helped, though.
Oh, for sure indeed. So no more Aegis over on the side of Ninjas in Pajamas. I still think that they're going to keep up this pressure, though, right? Although
Well,
the smoke coming
the
out from the
smoke is
side of
there.
EHOME, they realize there's no more Aegis online, so maybe they can make something happen.
No more Aegis and there's Doom. But look at PPD. Like, he's always the one that's so deep that even if this smoke connects, it's most likely going to be him. He is going back now, though, and Brood Mother...
Yeah, already just runs out. That's a lot of little spiderlings taken down, though.
I don't think she cares way too much.
She'll make some more.
And that's the problem. On one side, there's PPD just being PPD. He's standing there. If you want to smoke, you have to go through him. And PPD is irrelevant. You don't want to kill him. You don't want to kill that position 5 Bane. And on the other side, there's Brood farming your jungle. And she's just moving from high ground to low ground on that cliff. And you can't catch her either. Big problem when you want to be making these moves. You want to be making moves across the map, but you can't. They're just stopping you. The vision game from NIP is way too strong at the moment.
See that smoke rotation coming out from Ninjas in Pajamas, hoping to catch someone out here in the jungle. Open up these possibilities here by taking one person down. Why? We'll get spotted out. It's going to be the jump forward immediately. They'll just blow him up.
He's going to be spotted and killed, and instantly 3-3 he moves for that tier 2 on the mid lane, while the rest of his team circles around that top tier 2, which is going to fall very fast as well. So they basically took full control of the Dire jungle right now.
BKB does get completed here for the Razor, so he's not going to be able to get locked down quite as hard as before. But again, there feels like there's a lot of physical damage coming out from the side of Ninjas in Pajamas. So it's the defensive BKB kind of thing where you can kind of run yourself away, but then...
There certainly is, but you have BKB piercing abilities such as the grip as well.
True, that is true.
Overall, it is the right item in the current situation. You needed the BKB on the Razor. He just dies way too fast. He's 0-5-0. He's not having the greatest game. The hero that we aren't really talking a lot about so far is this Morphling. Like, he's been farming. He's been left unchecked. He died once with the Aegis, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. He has that Manta. He's moving towards the Lincolns. Lincolns in this particular game is a no-brainer. You're playing versus Soulbind Doom. You need it.
Right.
And so many games we've seen this Morphling just completely take control of the game later on. And considering the amount of space that he's been given, mid lane...
The jump forward, the Hex. Are they going to be able to finish up on this Doom? Nope, Zhao 8 going to be able to walk away with very little hit points. He's going to just regen right back up again. The Atos gets used over here onto Soxa. Nice Nightmare coming out from PPD. Will buy Soxa a little bit more time as he's trying to run himself out. The Phantom Sprays will connect. Sonic Wave on the back wave, though. You'll see that Zhao 8, he pops his own BKB. Soxa will get taken down.
They get the Soxa, they use the Sonic Wave. So that's the silver lining for... Well, for EHOME overall, they got the Rasta and the Sonic Wave is used without actually any losses.
And the Blink picked up now for the Doom, so we'll be seeing maybe a more active side of EHOME.
The Blink dagger on Zhao 8 is very important. Let's see, Brood Mother is caught.
The Atos coming out, BKB and the Doom as Brood Mother tries to climb herself away. She's moving pretty fast though. You can see Zhao 8 also just looks like he's going to back off. They spot PPD. PPD going to be able to go throughout the Nightmare, and the Quap going to be able to just blink herself out. It's going to be PPD who falls again.
That's just one dead Bane and one dead Rasta. And yeah, this is their time to strike. That Doom, however, has been used, and they don't have that to work with any longer, so they have to be careful. I believe they're going to retreat away from the Radiant jungle now.
And the Blink picked up on the Rubik, so again, we're getting more mobility items coming out for the side of EHOME. They're going to be able to be very aggressive and also be able to run themselves out.
Yeah, you have more ways of catching NIP, but at the same time, NIP has itemized in such a way that it makes them harder to catch. You have this Lincolns now completed on the Queen of Pain. You're going to have this Lincolns completed on Morphling in 1,000 gold. So even with that Blink, you're still going to have to like blink in, Fade Bolt, Lift, and that gives Morphling the time to start Strength Morph. Top lane as well.
Rubik pops that. Lincoln's double damage did get popped though over on the Quap. She's going to run herself back as Neverend makes his rotation to the top lane.
Yeah, with the Wraith King rotating in, Rubik is saved and he's just happy to go back, region up, fight another day.
He's going to have his very own BKB on that Wraith King soon, too. Just, I was talking with Jenkins about this. It feels like with the way that the games are being played nowadays, everyone just gets that BKB very, very early because you're fighting constantly. And if you don't get it with enough time, you start to fall behind, and it's very difficult to recover.
The games are not as long as before, not as long as in Zhao 8's time or Ferrari's time, so you need that BKB earlier. And they have adapted to the new times. they're playing with the new kids on their own level. They got the BKBs as well. You have the BKB on the Razor. You have the BKB on Zhao 8 too. So they understand what they need to do in the current meta.
I do feel like, Razors usually pick yourself up an early BKB, generally. But, yeah, no, the pace of these games are so fast now. Broodmother still?
There's like a point that Broodmother isn't really the best late game hero, right? Specifically as she itemizes in items such as Solar Crest, Diffusal. They're more early game oriented. So you can see that he's going for AC as well, but that's completely fine in this game, I believe, for them, as they have that morphing for the full late game potential. They also have the Queen of Pain that's going to be able to bring them that extra burst of damage necessary to take down targets. At the same time, later on, you are playing versus Doom, and Doom and Enigma, and perhaps Void, those are my top 3 late game heroes. Why? Because they have one spell that completely deletes your hero out of the game. There's absolutely nothing you can do about that. If you're doomed, you're just running around without being able to cast any spells or do any significant damage. So it's always scary to go late game versus that Doom, as if you get that Rush 3 with the Refresher Shard, the game can completely change off of that one item. We see a smoke on top lane.
Fata immediately. Oh, he managed to blink himself out.
Zhao
Good
8,
reaction time coming out.
he tried to jump in and force stomp him, but he just wasn't fast enough.
All right, what do we have here? Going to be grouping up a little bit on the side ninjas as they just go and keep on farming. I feel like I want to see some sort of aggressive play coming out from EHOME, but I'm not sure exactly
Maybe
how
this tier 1 on the top lane. Maybe ward up this cliff and go for the tier 1 on top. That's an option for them. The Razor is not there though. So they are just only 4 here.
See the spiders just chewing down. Atos will get used by Fata. 33, he's being patient, he's thinking about going in.
Brood is going
Be able
in
to go,
though.
has that BKB. Immediately the Fiend Script going to be able to hold the Wraith King into place. He does have Reincarnation up. So they're going to try to munch away. They go and they get that tomb off. They'll be able to go get the Soulbind too. As they're chasing them down, that's a lot of damage here. Are they going to be able to take him out? Yeah, they'll be able to finally take down 33. They'll drop the Serpent Wards. And the Morphling's going to try to move around, waveforming back and forth. And they have those shackles over here on the Wraith King, who has just come right back up again. Ace will be able to find himself a kill. They're going to go back in. Fata thinking about it, throws out the Shadow Dagger. They'll get the shackles over on the other side. And the leap forward, though, coming out from Zhao 8, but they'll still be able to find Xingqiu followed up with the Sonic Wave. Zhao 8, he gets knocked back, but Peter will fall. And the Atos coming out will be able to cancel TPs. 430 trying to run himself away from Ace, who is just being his own Razor. We've got the double links coming out here. And eventually Ace going to be able to chase down 430. Zhao 8, he wants to try to fight this Quap, but he's being kited so badly. Can they finish him off? Yes, that's a double kill for Ace.
That's the Morphling showing up when it was necessary for his team, because it looked rough, to be honest.
Look at those links. Look at the balance here, the Lizard.
Yeah, just turns into Razor and takes his own damage. You're gonna steal my damage? Sure, I'm gonna steal yours as well. Just give it back, you Razor. Anyway, 3-3, he just ran in. He created so much space in that fight. He did pay with his life in the end, but he also ate the Doom, so it was much easier for his team to play around. There's, like, in these team fights, when you're starting them, you always need some hero that's just gonna create chaos and give you information, and that's exactly what he did. Some players might think that that wasn't the right action because he paid with his life, but it is because his teammates, then they can act accordingly. Then they have the vision and the necessary chaos required for them to just jump in and deal the damage.
Well, isn't it sort of, too, going back to the fact that you're going to always have one, well, right now in this meta, it pays off if you've got one core that's going to be able to be very, very active and the other one can just kind of, move around the map, making sure he can get that farm. I feel like in this case with 33, he was the one who was making all the space. Fata too, no disrespect to Fata, he's making moves as well. But I feel like 33, by doing this has just started that shift. We're starting to see that this is becoming the Ace show now instead of just the 33.
Exactly. This is the Ace's game right now. The 3-3 is just going to be running around the same way he ran in that last fight. He's going to be baiting them to use big spells on him, such as Doom, such as Link from the Razor. That Link from the Razor is a very big spell for team fights. And this rush is very big, but I believe he's going to fall very fast again.
He fell fast the first time. They're not even going to need to use the Serpent Wards. In fact, you can see you've got Sox outside the pit. He's all smoked up, and just like that.
That Assault Cuirass on the Broodmother. There's also Cheese now on her. Double damage on the Morphling. He just dies way too fast. There's no way EHOME contests that. They need, so what does EHOME need? They need some good link with the Doom, not only one Doom on Brood, perhaps. They need it on multiple targets.
They need that Soulbind to come through.
They need a good link, good Soulbind from the Grimstroke, for sure.
That's so hard, too, because if you notice, it's not as the same priority as an Oracle, right? But it's still a very high priority to make sure the Soulbind doesn't get thrown out, the Phantom's Embrace, and also that Inkswell. Like, there's just so many good things. Although we do get a Hacks up, we've got that Shackles, and why is not going to be an issue as the BKB also gets completed now for Fata.
I want to talk a little bit about these item builds as well. I mentioned Greaves, I mentioned Crimson Guard, and Vlad before. Those 3 items are so important for your team if you have heroes that can build them, like utility heroes. At the same time, when you look at the side of EHOME, they're building 2 Shivas. Like one on Razor and the other one on Doom.
Oh, there's going to be a dead Sox and a dead Xing Q. The TP comes out, the Fiend script, though. They have it. They'll be able to go, use that reincarnation. He's coming right back up again. He blinks himself out, though. Vata on the hunt. So are all these spiders. In comes Morphling. They want this. They should be able to find him. The Atos comes through, and he just melts.
He melts so fast. That's just... Oh, even when he buys that Mjolnir, I mean, it's going to help him, but he's still going to die just as fast. And... where's the Crimson to help you? Where's the Vlads? Where are these utility items on the side of EHOME that are supposed to be there? You have the Doom, you have the Razor. You have these heroes that can carry these utility items, but they aren't buying them.
Is there just too much that we're expecting out of this Doom? Because he has to be the initiator, but he also needs to build these utility items? Is that the issue
But that's Doom. Like, you can't expect a lot from him because he always has a lot of gold. Like, he has plus 150 gold talent. Devour bonus gold talent, that is.
That's
like,
true.
he's usually the hero that does scale really well into the late game because of his talents and the fact that he has a built-in Midas. So you have to utilize that gold properly. And the fact that 430 has a Shivas and also Doom, double Shivas isn't bad. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of like utility versus the Brood Mother, but it doesn't help the Wraith King at all.
On the top lane, they jump over onto the Rubik immediately with that Atos. We'll be able to go break that Linken's, but you can see these spiders just chasing after them in 33. He's making the space. He's going to go right on in there, pops that BKB. He's pushing back Zhao Wei. They're not able to go anywhere near these buildings. That Ace is just ripping down right now. Followed up with that Plasma. We'll be able to go throw out the Nightmare. And like that, they take the tower. They seem satisfied with this. As you can see, Neverend TPing himself.
Interesting that they didn't try to take down that barracks because it's only 100 HP away, and the Ace has an Aegis. I expected them to at least take it, but...
Maybe they're going to reset.
It is the grand finals. Your nerves are playing with you a little bit. These are very experienced players, definitely, but you don't want to risk anything. You're in the driver's seat right now. You're in full control. You don't want to give them the chance to recover easily.
You're being very, very patient and very measured on the sides of ninjas in pajamas, so there's no reason to rush into this right now.
The discipline is definitely there for them.
That's a big deal.
We're going to see Shadow Shaman moving towards that Aghanim as well. He already has enough gold to have 3 completed slots. Now he just needs the Electricity or the Staff of Wizardry in the end.
It's pretty scary too if we had looked at the buyback status. I believe the only ones that have buyback are on the side of the Radiant. Everyone on the Dire, it's not available for them at this time.
Doom also, it seems like he wants to go for Aghanims into Refresher. I mean...
I don't know how I feel about the Aghs. I feel like he just gets hewn apart.
With the Shivas, you have enough mana to blink in and use two Dooms for sure with the Refresher. So there's that, but overall... I just don't see the scenario in which NIP allows you to jump in and use those 2 Dooms. And after all, you have the Grimstroke. You're already able to use 2 Dooms. You just have to execute properly with the Soulbind.
Oh, that feels bad if you're Grimstroke. You feel a little redundant when you see your Doom building that. But I mean, it's not his fault. It's very difficult for him to get into these fights. NIP is just, you know, they're prioritizing very, very well when they go in for these jumps.
Top lane, Atos on the Wraith King.
Yeah, they'll follow up with the Shadow Strike. Go pop that Linken's. In comes Ace. He's decided that now's the time to fight. And you're also going to see a nice stomp coming through, and there's going to be the Soulbind. They'll be able to go get this down. BKB coming out from 33, though. He's going to be able to chase Y back. Y's going to go use a Ghost Scepter. He's absolutely fine. Ace trying to run himself away. 33 will get rooted into place as they're going to try to burn him down right now. Backlines to Saksa is going to get wailed away by Neverend. Can 33 make it out in time? No, they'll be able to find the kill. They find the kill on Saksa. Ninjas in Pajama on the run now as EHOME chases them away from their base.
They find 3 great kills. First that on the Queen of Pain, then on the Rasta, and in the end 3-3 falls as well as he tries to port away. That was a little bit too aggressive. Yeah, you're winning, and they did show discipline on that high ground, but that was a reckless movement from Fata, from Queen of Pain, as he died without using BKB, without using that cheese. He died with those two big items as he got doomed. And the Doom wasn't that great as well. It came before the Soulbind, but it did give them the chance to take down the Queen of Pain, which is obviously really good for them as they are turning that into the tier 2 on the mid lane. And perhaps, yeah, they forced the buyback from the Brood.
Look at all these skeleton. There's the battle of the units here in this game.
Skellies are there, yeah.
The Skelly Men army. All right. Get some buybacks. Morphling going to be able to go farm up all of that in the mid lane.
Yeah, easy Skellies for Ace. It's actually getting closer to the Satanic as well. Has the Skadi, Linken's Manta. This is one very scary Morphling already.
He's got about 21k net worth on him. 21 net K though as well over on the Wraith King. So keeping up with that Radiance.
That buyback, the fact that they managed to force the buyback from 3-3 is actually big for EHOME. As if you take this next fight around Roshan and you manage to kill 3-3 again, the game is completely broken in half, and perhaps you can even take the side off of that, as the Brood is just not going to be there. AC also completed on breaking. I really love the fact that he didn't go for that Mjolnir. He had it queued up before, but he turned it into AC. I believe AC is a much better option for him.
Have a sheep stick completed now for Razor, so even more lockdown coming
yeah,
out
they're
from
getting
the side
these
of
items.
EHOME.
They're recovering.
Getting there. They are recovering. Yeah, if you look at the net worth difference too, it's less than 1k.
Less than 1k. Wraith King is on the second spot. This Brood Mother, yeah, she has 20,000 net worth, but she does not do as much as this Wraith King with 20,000 net worth. She just doesn't utilize the gold as well, as she gets the gold much easier. That's the balance.
So when does this start to slip out of Ninjas in Pajamas' hands? Because we talked about how this Brood Mother has really itemized for, more of an early game setup. And also just, it's a Brood Mother. She doesn't scale as well into that late game. When do we start to get concerned for them?
Perhaps right now, as that Aghanim is completed on Zhao 8, and if he jumps in, if he dooms that Morphling, perhaps it's going to be very difficult for NIP to just take them down. It's going to be hard for them to dish out the necessary amount of damage to kill this Razor that's very tanky at the moment. Has that plate mail as well, has the Black King bar, Wraith King, AC, Basher completed. They are getting the items that they need to actually play with NIP. So far they had to outplay them. They had to be on an advantageous, let's say, high ground, or getting a good pick off first on the Queen of Pain. I believe right now they might even smoke and find actions themselves.
Got the double damage and just picked up on that Wraith King too. So see a TP coming over here from the Rubik. Might be going for a smoke.
That could be the case indeed, as
That's
the four
the
of them,
plan.
they smoke up. Razor is alone on that top lane, but he's completely fine. As I believe, basically what you're thinking right now, if you are an IP, alright, they might be smoked behind that Razor. It's very hard for us to just go and attack him. And you can see Shadow Shaman even porting away from that top lane. While in fact, they are moving towards him, but they aren't behind him. And sucks. 3-3 is just scouting with these spiders, trying to figure out where they are. However, Doom jumps in.
Ace, it's going to immediately pop that Linken's. They'll throw him right back. Again, they get the Fiend Scrap go off onto the Doom. Ace, Soulband's going to be getting used on both of them, as he will get slowed down. They're going to try to keep going forward here. Fata and Ace not working together, though. Will get pulled into multiple directions. They'll be able to find the kill over onto Peter Pan, and they'll be able to get the kill on Y. Those shackles coming through should be able to take down Never End, but he's going to come right back up again with the reincarnation. Can they chase after him? They're going to give it their best shot. Steel coming out from the Rubik here as they'll go. They'll throw out the they'll be able to go hex up this Wraith King, slowing him down. Saxa, though, he finds those shackles, and 33, he's just eating away over here at this Wraith King, and they'll find that kill.
Sometimes these things just happen. Like EHOME was smoked, they had the opportunity to jump Ace, but at the same time that they jump him, he waveforms for the creep waves. You must be feeling so bad if you are EHOME right now, because he didn't see them. It's not like he planned to waveform to dodge them, he just did it to farm. So very unfortunate for the Doom, as he manages to get the Doom off in the end on the Morphling, but it was too late. Morphling was able to run away.
It was very fast movements coming out from the Bane, too, during all of that.
Oh, PPD, yeah, completely.
Just immediately stay away from my Morphling.
Just gripped that. I believe he gripped the Doom as well. What, was it Doom?
It was the Doom, yeah.
He
got the grip
Doom,
off immediately.
He got it off immediately. However, was that the BKB that I just heard? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Fata in the middle lane, just BKBing a little bit. Why not?
Why not?
Happens.
Surprised we didn't see more pings come out, honestly.
At least it's only the 9-minute BKB.
Yeah, sure, only the 9. He's got plenty more charges left on that bad boy. He's feeling so confident, Lizard. He's like, I'm not even going to use that one anyways.
He gave them 1 BKB charge. Like, here you go. I'm going to play with 8.
Do you see the, I believe that was an Ags that just got picked up for the Shadow Shaman, so we're going to start getting that splash damage from those wards as the Roche is up again.
And it's going to fall in, what, 10 seconds again? Last the third Roche too.
I don't even think they need the shackles on it. He's just melting.
Yeah, we're going to have the Aegis Refresher Shard
Refresher.
and
Is it Fata? Or is it going to be Shaman? Saxa?
It looks like they're going to give it to Shadow Shaman. You can basically take down one side with the double wards with Aghanims, so it's understandable that they're giving the shard to him. However, it seems like, nope, they're going to give it to Fata instead. Double BKB, double Sonic Wave, double Shivas. It works just as well.
Well, he is one of those great heroes that's able to kind of dip in and out the entire time and just create that chaos that we talked about. So
yeah. I mean, they have ways of taking down Braxes and buildings. You don't really have to be ratting with Shadow Shaman and Wards, right? So it's all right if you give it to Queen of Pain. Gives her the opportunity to use those 2 BKBs and 2 Shivas in the fight, which are so important for her to continue living throughout the fight and just dishing out the damage. Morphling with that BKB queued up has that Aegis. It's a difficult situation for EHOME at the moment. They need to, I believe they need to just strike first or...
Oh, the double damage rune. It was a bit of a bait, though. They'll turn back around. In jumps the Doom. He's got the BKB up and running. We'll be able to cancel out over here onto the Bane, take him down immediately. They go, they drop the Serpent Wards, and they're doing a lot of damage over here. They're going to be able to go steal that fuse if they're doomed up over onto 33. Is he going to fall?
Gone.
They'll be able to take him down, and they're giving chase over onto the back. And here's Saxa. He had that healed up, but he's not going to be able to do it for much longer. Ace also trying to run himself out, and they slow him down using that Stroke of Fate. As the Hex gets used, as they're just trying to get their Morphling out, Saxa with these long range just holds, being able to save a little bit longer, but the Ace turns back around. This is not good for him. He's got to get himself out of there. He's not going to be able to. That Aegis will pop. Saxa just trying to do whatever he can to hold on the side, but there are 3 guys just wailing away over here at Ace as he's going to try to run himself out. Can they find a kill, though? No, they'll be able to get the Soulbind. They've got the Silence off, too, and they'll be able to just link him up with Fata. Fata, he's going one way, and Ace is trying to go the other. Fata is still alive, though. So is Ace, as they're going to just turn their attention now over onto Saxa, who's been doing everything he can to try to make the space, to try to slow them down. Will get rooted into place with the Atos, and he will eventually fall.
Fata is already on that mid lane, already creep skipping after the team fight happened. They managed to save the Morphling at least. They didn't win the fight by any stretch. They still lost it quite convincingly, but Ace survives, Fata survives, which is a big deal. Overall, the way this Rubik is playing is just very good. He steals that grip instantly. I mean, it's not the hardest spell to steal, let's be real. It's a channeled Fiend's Grip, right? But he instantly steals it and uses it on the Broodmother. 3-3 was not a factor in that whole team fight. Like, he just died in that full duration Fiend's Grip that Rubik had. Atterland's Fiend's Grip, he was staying on his high ground. He also has level 15, 125 cast range, so he can use that Fiend's Grip from a mile away from the parking lot. And 3-3 just didn't see it happening. He just didn't see it coming.
Well, we've had such long range spells being used, right? We also saw the Shadow Shaman during that entire fight. He just kind of hid over into the trees and was just throwing out shackle after shackle after shackle, making sure that, you know, at least one person was going to be able to chase after Ace. And it paid off because he managed to get the Morphling out during all that. Oh boy, we have a refresher.
He was pretty much begging them, please go on me. Please, I'm shackling you. You have to kill me. You have to kill me. And in the end,
like an overly attached girlfriend. Come back. Get me instead.
Yeah. That's pretty much, they got Saxa instead.
Oh, Fata already, he just blinks himself forward. BKB gets picked up on the Morphling. Fata is breaking some ankles. Will be able to go. They pop that Lincoln. There's going to be the Hex. They'll turn him right back around again. Should be able to burn him down.
He does have the buyback at least, but that's a huge kill. They didn't have to use any big spells, so for this next team fight, they're going to have these 2 Dooms. So the Refresher Shard is there, and the Aghanims on the Doom. That's a lot of Dooms.
That's a lot of Dooms. So again, that Lincoln's popped on Ace. The BKB did get used by Neverend, though. They weren't able to find themselves that kill. However, they've got a Lotus on him. We'll be able to put some pressure over here on this tower. Nice Nightmare coming out. Buys them a little bit more time. They want to wait for Fata to come back up again. I'm not sure they're going to get that opportunity, though. So they do pop that Lincoln's. They have the grip. They'll turn around on Doom. And Doom, is he going to be able to get any of these Dooms off? No. He will get taken down. The Sonic Wave comes out. They'll be able to go give some chase here. They've got Neverend within their clutches. Can they get him? They'll be able to go use that Soulbind. And the BKB is coming right back out again as they're going to try to fight through 430. He's going to try to TP himself out. We'll be able to do it, but it's not looking so good for this Wraith King as he's going to get held in place by those long-range shackles, and Ace going to be able to burn him down. The chase is on. They'll be able to get themselves Y, and I think that's going to be it for now.
They forced Fata buyback. I don't think NIP wants to settle on this. They have 88 seconds remaining. They should push. They should force the buyback on Wraith King or realize that he does not have one. So we might see them just go down straight mid. You can see that they're pinging it out. They don't want to lose this creep wave. They just want to push and force at least one buyback on the Wraith King or the Doom. But neither one of these two heroes have it. That's the problem.
On the bright side for, EHOME, they don't have those Serpent Wards up this time around. They're not going to be able to use that to their advantage, but they do have quite a large army of spiders that are making their way towards that base.
One thing we failed to mention is that this Razor, he sold his Shivas.
All right, they're going to try to clear them up. That lift right now, have that Hex over there, but they're just chewing through the base. I don't know how they're going to force them back without these other two heroes.
It's going to be very difficult. 15 seconds away from Doom, though. I believe.
430 gets hexed up. You have the Lotus Orb. They'll use the Glimmer to try to keep him alive. The BKB does get used over by 33 as the Soulbind does connect. And they're going to try to run themselves out. They've got the Phantom's Embrace, but they'll immediately jump forward again. Ace just chipping away over at 430, who's popped his own BKB. Won't be able to find that kill, though.
Doom is up, and after that you just run. The reason why they are running, even though Wraith King is still dead, is because they believe that EHOME was just waiting for Doom to respawn, and then they would initiate with Doom plus the buyback on Wraith King. They didn't realize that Wraith King does not actually have a buyback. So they're playing the disciplined game, and overall it is the correct answer to the situation. What I mentioned before, yeah, Razor sold his Shivas. He bought the Lotus Orb instead, so they don't have two Shivas anymore.
Kind of wish that Razor hadn't bought it in the first place, right?
I mean, in that scenario, it would have worked for them, actually, because it would help them in the defense. Plasma plus Shivas, that's a lot of damage. It just clears the creep wave very fast. But at the same time, this Lotus Orb is really good for them at the moment. It does help out. Versus the Grip, versus Shadow Shaman, versus everything.
I got confused for half a second. I thought it showed that Ace had bought himself a Hand of Midas. But is actually the Boots of Travel here, so... Oh no, never end. Right immediately, Bane spots him out. They should be able to go re-engage on this. Bane, though, is he going to be able to get taken down? Yeah, he's going to get taken out right away. The buyback comes out, though. They want to fight around the shrine. As 33, he is locked into place here, and he's going to be muted. There's going to be the Sonic Wave coming back, pushing them back. Are they going to be able to find the kill? They'll be able to take down 33. They take out Zhao 8, as they're going to keep chasing after 43. 430 trying to get himself out. No, he's not going to. He's going to fall to Ace. Ace turning himself into his own Razor. Will just chip away over at Y. He gets himself a double kill. Again, these long-range shackles are just absolutely ridiculous. They'll take down the Wraith King. His reincarnation pulling him right back up again on the other line, though. We see Rubik. They've caught that BKB. They'll be able to hold him into place, though. This is not looking good for Never, and he's going to get taken down.
On the left side, the Rubik.
They've got those shackles. They should be able to get themselves a kill.
Yeah, they get 4 heroes. Razor instantly buybacks, and so does the Rubik, because guess what? You still don't have the buyback on the Wraith King. Perhaps with these bounty runes, he's still 100 gold away from the buyback.
All right, so there's the buyback from the Doom. These creeps just marching on into the base. You've got that double damage rune on Ace. They'll pop that Lincoln. They'll leave the lift. They're going to try to pull him right back again. They do have the Doom, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team is there. They should be able to take down Zhao 8. And on the back lines, they'll take their own shackles over on Xin Q, but they'll be able to take down Doom down for 120-something seconds. Xin Q, he is just going to get ripped apart. The only person who is alive right now is the Razor, and he doesn't look like he's going to be alive for much longer. He's going to try to take some of this damage over here. We'll get the Hex off, and he's down. Everybody is taken down on the side of EHOME. Game number 1 belongs to the Ninjas in Pajamas.
What a great way to open. If you are ninjas, what a great way to open the day. What a great way to open the grand finals with that.